Hello, all you beautiful people. How you doing today? This is Lava Temptress, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new here, welcome. Hi! So today we're going to be talking about another humble bundle that just came out. This one is a books bundle called Mindfulness and Meditation by the Quarto group. So this one is kind of what you would expect. It's all about self-care type books. Being mindful, doing some meditation, that kind of thing. So Humble has evaluated the total bundle at $652, and I actually came up with a very different amount for that. As always, I broke it down for you based off how much each book is worth and then how much each tier is worth. So this one is laid out a little bit different. So we have what they normally are on Kindle and on Nook. And what I did is I took whichever the cheapest one was, and that's how I came up with my total, which I'm sure is how I got such a different amount, but it's such a drastic amount. So you might want to tune in for that. As always with our book bundles, they are DRM free, which just means you can have them on your multiple devices all at the same time, which comes in so very handy. So you can have them on your computers, your tablets, your phones, all the different places, even at the same time, which is where the multi-format comes in. Today, these are PDF and EPUB files, and the EPUB file comes in handy if you are reading it on a certain device. All right, this will show you how much time is left, and if you need time to come back for any reason, click that reminder bell. It'll send you an email before the bundle's over. All right, so to start off with, our tiers today are $1, $10, $18, and $22. What does that mean? Well, whichever tier you decide to purchase, you will get everything in the tiers above it. So that's how this works. All right, so for our dollar tier, we start off with 4 books. First, we have Mindfulness and Sound, Tune into the World Around Us. Now, you can always click here to get a PDF preview and read a little bit of a summary on what the book's about. You can also click this little link here when it turns into a hand. And then you can see more information on the book. Now, this time it has links on this link if you wanted to purchase it. So it's link after link. So all right, but Mindfulness and Sound, Tune In to the World Around Us is normally $14.24 on Kindle and $11.49 on Nook. Next, we have Life Unplugged, a digital detox workbook. This one is only available on Kindle, and it is normally $10.99. Everywhere else, it was hardcover. Next, we have the Mind Remedy. Discover, make, and use simple objects to nourish your soul. This one is normally $12.30 on Kindle and $18.99 on Nook. And last in this tier, we have Mindfulness at Work, Flourishing in the Workplace. This one is normally $6.99 on both Kindle and Nook. So that brings our total for the tier 1 to $41.77. Okay, so next we have the $10 tier, which brings us, 10 more books. So first of all, we have Mindful Thoughts for Mothers, A Journey of a Loving Awareness. This book is normally $9.49 on Kindle and $9.99 on Nook. Then we have Be Kind, A Year of Kindness, 1 Week at a Time. This one is normally $9.99 on Kindle and $14.99 on Nook. Next, we have Find Your Flow, the simple and life-changing practice for a happier you. This one is normally $10.25 on Kindle and $14.99 on Nook. Next, we have Perfectly Mindful Origami, Origami Zodiac East and West. This one is normally $16.49 on Kindle and $14.99 on Nook. Next, we have Find Your Glow, Feed Your Soul, a guide for cultivating a vibrant life of peace and purpose. So this one is normally $9.99 on Kindle and $14.99 on Nook. Next, we have the Serenity Passport, a world tour of peaceful living in 30 words. So this one is normally $8.02 on Kindle and $15.49 on Nook. Next up, Mindful Thoughts at Home, Finding Heart in the Home. This one is normally $8.49 both on Nook and Kindle. Then we have How to Be Content, an inspiring guide to happiness. This one is normally $10.44 on Kindle and $13.49 on Nook. Next up is Mindful Universe, a journey through the inner and outer cosmos. This one is normally $11.49 on both Kindle and Nook. And last in this tier is Mindful Traveling, journeying the world, discovering yourself. This one is normally $9.99 on Kindle and $11.49 on Nook. So that brings our total so far for tiers 1 and 2 to $144.91. Next up, we have our third tier today, which is $18. So first off in this one, we have Mindfulness and the Big Questions, Philosophy for Now. This one is normally $5.50 on Kindle and $12.99 on Nook. Next up is Art of Mindful Birdwatching, Reflections on Freedom and Being. This one is normally $9.99 on Kindle and $10.99 on Nook. Then we have Mindful Art of Wild Swimming, Reflections for Zen Seekers. This one is normally $9.99 on Kindle and $10.99 on Nook. Next up, we have Meditation Made Simple, weekly practices for relieving stress, finding balance, and cultivating joy. Boy, don't we all need that. This one is normally $4.75 on Kindle and $16.49 on Nook. Next up, Find Your Mantra, inspire and empower your life with 75 positive affirmations. I always think powerful when I think affirmations. So this one is normally $9.99 on Kindle and $13.99 on Nook. Next up, we have Mindful Thoughts for Stargazers, Find Your Inner Universe. This one is normally $2.77 on Kindle and $8.49 on Nook. Next up, Spiritual Poems of Rumi, translated by Nader Kahili. Probably said that wrong, but this one is normally $12.99 on Kindle and $12.90. Oh, it's $12.99 both places. Okay. Next up is Moonlight Gratitude. This one sounds pretty cool. 365 nighttime meditations for deep, tranquil sleep all year long. That one's new to me. I don't think I've ever seen nighttime meditation, so that's one very intriguing for me. But this one is normally $11.99 and it is only available on Nook. Next up, we have Mindful Crafting, the Maker's Creative Journey. This one intrigues me very much also, because I am very much a crafty person. So this is normally $4.12 on Kindle and $10.49 on Nook. Next up, we have Mindfulness for Students, Embracing Now and Looking for the Future. Also intrigued by this one because I am going back to school at the moment. So this one is normally $11.71 for Kindle and $10.49 for Nook. And then last in this tier is In Focus Meditation, your personal guide. This one is normally $9.99 for Kindle and $12.99 for Nook, which brings our total so far for tiers 1, 2, and 3 to $237.48. And then our last tier today is $22. So for here, we start off with Conscious Creativity. Look, connect, create. This one is normally $14.99 for both Kindle and Nook. Next up, Best Meditations on the Planet. 100 techniques to beat stress, improve health, and create happiness in just minutes a day. I think this one sounds fabulous. I think it would be worth it just for that one. But this one is normally $11.99 on Kindle and $18.99 on Nook. Then we have Art of Mindful Reading, Embracing the Wisdom of Words. This one is usually $11.49 both on Kindle and Nook. Next up, we have Be Happy, 35 Powerful Methods for Personal Growth and Well-Being. This one is normally $9.99 for Kindle and $13.49 for Nook. Next up, Seeking Slow, Reclaim Moments of Calm in Your Day. This one is normally $9.99 for Kindle and $13.99 for Nook. Next, Mindful Thoughts for Walkers, Footnotes on the Zen Path. This one is $7.99 on Kindle and $6.99 on Nook. Then we have Mindful Thoughts for Makers, Creating Head, Heart, Hands. And this one is normally $2.78 for Kindle and $8.49 for Nook. Next up, I love this title, Eff This, Meditation. 108 tips, tricks, and ideas for when you're feeling anxious, stressed out, and overwhelmed. I definitely think I need this book. So this one is normally $8.35 for Kindle and $13.99 for Nook. Next up is Mindful Thoughts for Cyclists, Finding Balance on Two Wheels. And this one is normally $6.99 for Kindle and for Nook. Next up is Mindfulness in Music, Notes on Finding Life's Rhythm. You know, I turn to music quite a bit to help me get stuff done. It just really helps. I don't know what it is. But this one is normally $4.15 for Kindle and $10.99 for Nook. Next up, we have the Sumi painting. Probably said that wrong. My apologies. Master the meditative art of Japanese brush painting. If you have never seen anybody do Japanese brush painting, it is like one of the calming, most soothing looking things, yet so beautiful. I love it. And this one is normally $9.99 for Kindle and $14.99 for Nook. Next up is Joy of Forest Bathing. Reconnect with wild places and rejuvenate your life. This one is normally $9.11 for Kindle and $13.49 for Nook. Next up, we have Love Poems of Rumi, translated by Nader Kahili. They translated one of the other ones too. This one is normally $12.99 both on Kindle and Nook. Next up, we have Progress Over Perfection, a guide to mindful productivity. This is something I've actually been working on. Even with putting out my content, I try to just put out stuff instead of trying to make everything perfect because, well, nothing's ever perfect. But anyway, this one is normally $9.99 on Kindle and $13.99 on Nook. Next, we have the very last of all of the bundle, Spiritual Places. This one is normally $10.35 for Kindle and $14.99 for Nook, which brings our grand total to $366.13. And if we go back up here, you'll see they said $652. But I got $366.13. Huge difference. But I think the thing is, they probably took the evaluations off one certain platform, whereas I took it from where's the cheapest place you could buy it. So take that as whatever you will, but that's what I came up with. As always, Humble supports a charity, so this one is in support of Mental Health Foundation. Down here is where you're going to purchase the bundle. Sometimes that dollar amount disappears. If it does, you can just put it into custom amount, or if you choose to pay more, because you can choose how much you get to each person or each platform. So you could actually give more to the charity, tip, the developer, whatever you want. But if the dollar amount does disappear or you want to put in another amount, just put it in there. Just know if you purchase anything other than the top tier, it will pop up these warnings. All it means is unless you pay this much more, you won't get that tier. It's perfectly fine. You are free to purchase whichever tier you like. The add to cart is only for the humble choice, and the humble choice is never required to purchase any bundles. But the humble choice, if you're curious, is a monthly subscription plan for games. And if you're just starting out, I think they're still running the special where it's only $12. So pretty good deal in my opinion. The games are hit and miss. It depends month to month. But if you want the March one, the March choices, you can already see what the games are. If you are new and you want the March ones, be sure to get it because next Tuesday, is when the April Humble Choice comes out. So you will not be able to get the March one anymore. All right, but here's where you're going to pay. Pay with card, PayPal, Amazon, or Alipay. And if you want to give it as a gift, don't forget to click here and put their email in there. And you can even make it anonymous because why not? It's fun. All right, that is it for this bundle. I think it's a very fabulous bundle. It's not going to be a book bundle for everybody, but I think it is a good bundle. And even though the amount I came up with is quite a bit different, for the top tier, you're still only paying $22. So I still think it's worth it if it's the kind of thing that you want. But let me know what you think down below. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button with the notification bell. That way you can see when all the new videos come out. I appreciate you being here, as always, leaving any questions or comments down below. And until next time, this love temptress, don't get burned. Bye!